Howdy! How's everybody? How's Jill?
My butt hurts a little bit, but I'm good.
Girl, same. Actually, after the nearly 5 hours of Zelda on Tuesday, around like midnight, my ass hurt so bad. I was like, maybe this is a bad idea to sit this long. But when I sat for 12 hours or for 10 hours for the maid dress stream, my butt didn't hurt then. I don't know what it was about freaking Tuesday night. I mean, my ass hurt so much.
You probably just didn't move very much.
Yeah, probably. Because at least in the maid dress, I think I got up several times, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely did, because you had to have used the bathroom at least once in 10 hours.
Yeah. In fact, I drank a lot of water that day. I drank a lot of water on Tuesday as well. Yes, Sid, you could have rated me. Like, come on. I didn't want to be, like, controlling and be like, hey, can you wait 15 more minutes? How about next Thursday? Maid dress are good words to jump in on. Correct. I'm actually not upset you didn't rate me, because I'm kind of, like, really tired today. So if I know you're rating next time, I'll drink, like, a fuck ton of espresso before stream, and I'll be like, That's a funny face. You're a mod, you're allowed to be controlling. No self-promo in your stream. I thought you knew, otherwise I'd have suggested you wait 20 minutes. Yeah, I assume that everybody knows when I'm streaming, because I've streamed at the same time for the past 2 years.
Forgot what day it was. Oh no.
I don't have a concept of time. There's no such thing as days. Will any of you be here for the glorious return of Give Yourself Goosebumps Sunday night? I mean, I will. That's what you should be rating. Be like, everybody get off Twitch, get on my Discord. Go, go, go. I'm trying to get the Discord a bump in place. Everybody loves Story Night. Story Night's a hot commodity now.
It's D&D weekend for me.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
On Saturday I have Hollow Mountain, and on Sunday I have Swan Song.
Yeah, you kind of didn't miss much with the Zelda stories. It was just like we were so ADHD.
as normally, yeah.
Ooh, Joey's massively moist. Yeah, Joey, I appreciate you. You always make me laugh.
Listen, we are sufficiently moistened.
Yeah.
Also, I looked at my career mode in my game. I have completed 14 more jobs than we have done so far together.
Joey, thank you. I appreciate you. You appreciate me, I appreciate you. We are sufficiently moistened, yeah. You completed 14 more, is that what you said?
Yeah, in career mode, I was looking at it and I'm like, completed, and I just, like, we've done 5 jobs.
I don't know if I want to do this train, the steam locomotive, because you like trains. Or if we should do the Mother Hubbard shoe.
Shoe's pretty good.
Okay, we'll swap back and forth between career mode and the funky ones. Well, thank you for reminding me of the controls. Let's see if we can go this whole time without any crashing.
You do have to invite me, so don't forget.
Yes. It's like kind of weird, but like friends playing. None. Bro, are you even in the game?
Yeah.
What? Oh, there we go. Invite a friend. There you are. Cool. He was being very rude to me and saying you weren't there. Look at these tiles! Oh my god, they're so cute. There's the gnome. There you are. Hi.
Now I'm in.
Beep.
Hi.
Beep. 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 This game is fun. How's your day been? I'm okay. I had work today, so I'm like very tired. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow because tomorrow is my ADHD evaluation. So I gotta wake up the ass crack of dawn. Not the ass crack of dawn to Nana standards, but the ass crack of dawn so that I can get examined for an hour. But I feel like, I told Seth, I feel like the minute I walk in that building, they're gonna look at me and be like, this boy bouncy as fuck. He probably, definitely just needs those meds. So...
Can you afford the next power washer yet?
Can I? Let's see. Heavy duty? I need 5 stars. I can afford it, but it's locked.
5 stars? What?
Yeah. I wake up at the taint of the
pre-crack.
The pre-crack. Yep, there's an ADHD goblin in there, yeah. No, we went to Barnes & Noble yesterday, and there was like this plushie. We couldn't figure out what the fuck it was. And then we looked at the tag, and it said like Dogman's ADHD. And I was just like, oh my god.
What?
It's a pill, or I think it is. Like it looks like a little pill capsule. Oh, it was a robot? Well, it looked like a pill capsule to me.
That's pretty valid. Like, pill capsules do look fairly robotic.
Yeah. A robot they didn't put together correctly because they're too distracted. I didn't really read that much of Dave Pilkey lore. I do know that Dave Pilkey wrote those books, wrote the Captain Underpants books, to say that society hates creativity and will do anything in its wake to destroy and put down creative peoples. That the American education system is only really there to destroy and discourage.
Captain Underpants?
Yeah! Dude, there's a moral to Captain Underpants.
Those books were just fucking weird, dude.
No, they were good. Yeah, they named it ADHD. But like, I swear to God, if they don't think that there's anything there, I'm gonna be like, you gotta be kidding me. Why can't I can't focus on a damn thing.
I don't know what HD is, but the doctor said I got 80 of them motherfuckers.
I'm gonna make that joke. They're gonna love that.
I'm sure they're not going to love it. It's gonna be awkward as hell.
Yeah, oh well. I think that just might further bolster me getting the diagnosis.
Being weird as hell is not a requirement for having ADHD.
That's true. Yes, Sith, please fucking eat something. You need to keep repairing your brain. I know you're concussion free, but you still need to repair your brain. You still have some missing cells. Yeah, you better steal that joke. I was just thinking about how Martha Hubbard, you got a stinky butt. Okay. Did you get that message too?
No, I don't get the text.
Okay.
Also, I got that joke from TikTok, so.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
Why did Mother Hubbard call me a stinky butt?
Well, perhaps it's not actually Mother Hubbard.
She is a little old lady who lived in a shoe. She had 10 kids and they all smelled like poo.
That's not the... Okay.
Oh yeah, speaking of like funny things you say to your therapist. So like I do my therapy online, I have teletherapy. And so I was on the call and Nana was playing Sea of Thieves at the same time. And John was like wondering why the heck it was lagging so much. And I was like, oh yeah, Nana's playing a pirate game. And then John was like, that's cool, I think pirates are sexy. I was like, yeah dude, that's why we're playing it.
Nana's pirate is decidedly a scrunkly little dude, so...
Yeah. Why did Mother Hubbard call me a sticky butt? She was a little lady who lived in a shoe. She had 10 kids, they smell like poo. Thank you. God, it's funny. Also, Orville is decidedly my historian.
Yeah, we knew that already.
Yeah. He needs to put more work into the not the Discord, the wiki. I haven't checked the wiki in a bit, but I bet it's still just as fascinating and funny. We need some like Muppet lore in there.
Muppet lore? Excuse me? What
I
does
mean,
that
like the very
mean?
fact that if I had decided I want to become a VTuber, I want it to be a Muppet.
Ah.
Because I talk about the Muppets so much, and I've been kind of like the three things that I've been hyper fixating on the past month has been Bo Burnham again. I can't escape Bo Burnham. I'm a little upset about it, but I'm not at the same time. The Muppets, and I'm very motivated to keep my French lessons up. That I'm constantly thinking I need to do French. I need to speak French. I need to speak French, which is good. It's useful.
In what context?
Just any context, like I'll be at work and I'll think the French word after I say this what I need to say. I want a yogurt tube? What? I don't. That was weird. These texts from Martha Hubbard are weird. Anyway, like I'll be at work and I'm knowing enough words now that I can like think what they would be in French. And then we get a lot of French Canadian travelers here buying coffee from me, and I want to just like continue practicing with them, but I don't want to assume that they speak French, so I'm not gonna be like, hey, do you speak French? Can I practice with you? Because that'd be weird. Hi, Lexi. How are you? How was your HelloFresh? I was thinking that we should try HelloFresh sometime. We got a bunch of coupons on the kitchen table, but we're reluctant because we don't want to spend money. You still there, Joe?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm just squinting.
Thought you disappeared. Got scared for a minute there.
No, I didn't disappear.
Did you take a foreign language in school?
Yeah.
What'd you take?
I took French.
Oh, hell yeah.
I
So
took
many free bucks.
3 years, and then I couldn't take French 4 because French 4 was only 12 students and was only offered at one time of the day, and I had another required class that was in the same like block.
Oh, okay.
So here's a story. When I was in high school, I, as I am now, was not very athletically inclined, and our school required physical education.
Yeah, mine too.
4 years worth.
4. Yeah,
Well,
mine was 4. 4
all
credits.
All 4 years you had to have a physical education. Anyways, one semester, because we had to get 8 credits, because each semester was a credit. One semester I had the biggest asshole teacher who expected me to somehow not be fat and be able to keep up with the other kids, and because he determined that I wasn't trying enough, he failed me.
Oh. What a dick.
Yeah, he was an asshole.
And because of that, you couldn't take French.
Because of that, I couldn't take French 4. Well, so that was part of the reason. The other reason was because I had another PE teacher that was like, well, you know, you're really good with the special needs students, and this, so you can be a helper in, they called it people PE, and it was a acronym, and I don't remember what it stood for, but so she was like, I'll get you into this other class, which is a lot less physically demanding, and will allow you to actually graduate, right? Because you have these damn credits. But that, it wouldn't have been a problem, you know, because I could have kept taking regular PE. But that one happened to be in the same block or period or whatever as French 4. which
That's
was
a
like fifth period.
bummer.
So I couldn't take French 4, which means I didn't get to go to France.
What? You could have gone to France. You could have omelette that du fromage.
Yeah, I could have gone to France.
Oh my god. Also, Lexi, I'm so glad. I'm so proud of you for making your own food. Hello, Mothman. How are you? I still have nightmares sometimes that I get called back to high school and told I have to repeat my senior year because I failed gym. Oh god. You can tell the uncoordinated kids are here. I get dreams like that as well, except I need to retake my entire senior year because I dropped out despite being in my 20s and having a GED. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever had school dreams.
I have.
Most of my dreams are about college, or about work.
I've had dreams about having to go back to school as a fucking 30-year-old or whatever, and not being able to find my classes and all this other shit. Pretty bog standard school dreams, if I'm being honest. I haven't had them in a while, interestingly enough, but they are horrendous. Also, you do know that we have a ladder, right?
Shit. My dream is that I am at school, usually high school or shit. Usually community, college, but I don't know. Classes are... There's no map of abstractly weirdly laid out school. The college that I went for grad school that I dropped out of was shaped like a brain. Like, I'm not even kidding. You look at a map of the college, and it's legitimately shaped like a brain. Like, the way to enter the school is through the brainstem. I don't know why. I'm like a severely anxious person, and I never had dreams about school.
Yeah, I remember vaguely the layout of my high school. And so in the dream, I will be like trying to navigate the high school, or
my high
I'll
school
have
was
dreams.
3 hallways.
Please remember that my high school had 2,000 students.
90. Yep, me and Lexi went to grad school together. That's how we met. It is indeed shaped like a brain.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I vaguely remember how the high school was laid out, and I have dreams where I'm there, and I'm trying to like navigate, or I have dreams where I'm going to lunch but I'm late, or like it's like a weird setup for the meal.
So you got like 5 minutes to eat?
Or I've had dreams where I was at the elementary school that I went to. Sometimes I'm working there.
Okay.
Because but I never worked at that school district. I worked at a different school.
Wait, we got a scaffolding?
Yeah.
That would have been so much... That would have been so helpful.
I can find a place to sit it.
I've only had one work-related dream. We were throwing live people into an incinerator that was for some reason in the back of the restaurant. The screams were haunting, but I was busy making cheesecake using fish paste instead of cream cheese. And then my manager gave me a baby, and I was upset because there wasn't enough room in my chicken coop to keep a baby. Are you okay?
No.
Mothman? Are you okay? Probably not. I keep having dreams just like, because like, at Starbucks you gotta like shake drinks a lot, and I keep having, and it's summertime, so everybody's ordering refreshers, and I hate making refreshers. And I keep having dreams where I have to make them.
The scaffolding did not used to be in this level. You had to use the ladder to get up here.
Well,
hi Herky, I don't know why it broke. It just went welk. So much is going on in that dream. Yeah, dude. I had a friend who worked at Wendy's once. Well, I don't know if he was a friend.
I wrote a message this morning when I wrote to Nan so I wouldn't forget this. I dreamed about like the coolest like trio of friends I've ever seen in my life.
Cooler than you and me and Nana?
Oh,
we're the Lego people, see?
Dude, out of the three of them, there was a Mask of Femme and an NB, and the fucking Femme was wearing a trucker hat with LEDs on it. So yeah, they're cooler than us.
we gotta get matching trucker hats. Nana, do you want matching trucker hats? Hi, Herky. I love you. I'm sorry the thing broke on you.
Like, I remember I woke up and I was like, I need to write this down before I forget. And so I just sent Nan this message about these people I dreamed about. She was not awake yet.
Hi, Buggy. How are you? Did I ever tell you I got banned from the official Wendy's Discord because I swore? But I like to believe it's because I shared too many They don't like you cussing? That's a bummer.
I think you mean it's bullshit.
I bet that Colonel Harlan Sanders would let you cuss in his Discord. Here's a tongue twister for you, Bulby. Bulby sips. I can't even say the first word. Bulby sips bubbly. I can't fucking even say it once. How can I say it 10 times? Damn. Bulby
Really?
loves Buggy. Well, yeah, I have soup brain. What do they think about the hot drinks video? What hot drinks video? There's lots of hot drinks out there.
This scaffolding makes things so much easier.
Yeah. I was gonna parkour this whole thing. Also, while you were talking about gym class, I got a message from Mother Hubbard that says that she was taking a poop. Wendy's hot drinks? Is this a Chaos Kitchen thing?
Sounds
Like, am I gonna make, like chicken nugget broth or something?
maybe not that.
Oh, you can just post it in Discord and I'll watch it later. Because when I click out of the game, my computer's weird. I can't like play a game and go into another browser or like click off the screen because then it will stall Jill. I don't want to stall Jill. She's doing some hard work. But I was glad that I got to do your little across the streams. Oh no. I got to do your thing. Why am I stuck? Oh, there we go. I don't care what.
So even though we can't buy the next power washer yet, you can buy the nozzle extensions so that we can clean.
But I want the new ones so that I can get the cupcake gun.
I know. However, the nozzles the extensions will help us.
Oh yeah.
Even if you only buy like the longest one.
How do I? Ah. Oh. Oh, you're right. I don't have any extensions right now.
Yeah, and you don't have the turbo nozzle either, because you don't get that by default.
I was so spoiled doing the other packet, the other stuff in the stuff in the things from last week.
Well, did you buy it for the Urban XU2?
What?
Or did you make sure if you bought an extension, did you buy it for the right power washer?
No, I didn't buy the extensions. They just came with it.
No, they don't.
What?
If you press E, in the middle it has extension.
Oh my god, I can buy extensions.
Make sure you buy it for the XU2. Because we want it for.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the orange one.
There we go. Should I get the turbo nozzle?
Yeah, it's pretty useful.
Fuck yeah! No, what I really want is the... Okay, so we need 1 star after this. I just thought about a very funny bad 2-sentence horror story. Ooh, I love 2-sentence horror. I can't even say that word! 2-sentence horror story. This is what I want. The Prime Vista 300 donut gun.
Prime Vista 3000.
Yeah, the Prime Vista 3000 donut gun. Neat. Whee! Someone out here serving word salad today. If this doesn't prove to the freaking doctor tomorrow that I got the ADHDs, I swear to God. My grandma, what big ears you have? I laughed, but the hungry chupacabra wasn't pleased. Oh God. That does make me feel a little uneasy. And now I want to think of some two-sentence horror stories. I went to boil some ramen. When I looked into the pot, after the water had boiled, it turned into sinew. That wasn't very scary.
That was more confusing than scary.
Such a popular dish, everyone makes it. Yeah. The meatworm, the knife guy. What? What am I missing?
Let's see. Boot walls. So there's one boot wall that's missing. Oh, fun! I learned a thing. Click on the where it says boot walls, 18 out of 19. Click on it in your menu. It will highlight the one that's not done. Like it'll be flashing.
I see it. I just gotta masterfully jump. I decided to bake a loaf of bread, but it turned into seitan. I don't get... What's seitan?
I have no idea.
Oh, thank you. I don't know how to climb a ladder.
The collision on these ladders is fucking crazy.
I'm wiping your ass.
I mean, thank you?
Seitan is just gluten. Oh, okay. Fairy loved to play in the snow, but so did the meatworm. My grandma, what big ears you have, the knife man joked, but the hungry meatworm was displeased. Goodness gravy. You guys make it spooky. Orville's shaking. 18 and 19. Boot wall. This looks like an LL Bean boot.
Oh, it's over here.
He boot too big for his goddamn feet.
Alright. A window frame,
This
and a wooden
one.
trim. Well. Which wooden trim?
I fear nothing but that story. I keep thinking about... Okay, so you guys know the one meme with the t-shirt that's like, no fear, and then the next person walks by with a shirt and it says something, and the third panel it says, one fear. I didn't realize the original for that one was... The second shirt was... What if Simpsons porn was illegal? So, like, I feel like that should also scare Orville. I didn't know that. If you think that's scary, then you should read The Supermarket Monster. What's a supermarket monster? Let's find this vintage car.
This one has a lot of rust.
Ooh.
So there's like edges that have to be done like 2 or 3 times.
Let's edge.
Alright.
Wash me. Wait. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. I have returned. Hello, Sith! There are a surprisingly large amount of memes where the original joke is as good or better than the meme format. Yeah, I never would have thought that would have been the original. Like, Absolute Unit? What's the origin of Absolute Unit? I thought it was just like a cat meme. Just a really feckin' chonky cat. What's your favorite meme?
I want to say my most recent favorite, like, just in general, is "Oh Lord, he coming."
Oh, Lottie coming, yeah. That's a good one.
I made a Final Fantasy 14 version of that meme with a fat chocobo.
Oh, yeah, I love chocobos. I don't know, ever since the fishing stream, when I played the Chocobo Mystery Dungeon fishing game, oh my god, that game made me cry. Was anyone gonna tell me that blank, or was I supposed to learn that blank by myself? I don't think I know that one.
Oh, what's the I don't know what the original is. I mean, like, I've seen the picture because it's from like a video.
This is a lot of rust.
Yeah.
Why didn't this guy take care of his car earlier?
The turbo nozzle is really helpful in this level.
Classic car owners are never getting their car like this. At least this one isn't sending me inappropriate texts like the last one was. Was anyone going to tell me that walruses can slurp the skin off a seal like a roast chicken, or was I supposed to learn that? What the fuck?
What? Did you just Google that, or did you know it offhand?
If you know it offhand, Nan, are you okay? Why do you know this kind of thing? You just caused me second.
Why did you know that?
Okay, banned. No, I'm kidding.
I have some concerns.
Walruses are.
Well,
that's making me think that
conversation.
They're probably making Nana think about the walrus and the oysters.
Oh, the walrus and the carpenter.
Yeah. He just eats those children. I think it's a metaphor for capitalism.
Everything's a metaphor for capitalism.
Everything. Even when you're not looking. That we produce so many works as a collective being that despise capitalism, and yet we march ever onward. For eating prey, yeah, pretty much. That is so weird. I don't ever want to look at a walrus ever again. I thought that they were
Every
cute.
every time we have one of these streams, I learn a new cursed thing that Nan knew.
Every time,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you learn last week?
I don't know if there was something last week, but the first time it was the lobster thing. So, like,
the hairy lobsters?
2 out of 3, she was telling us that lobsters have 2 bladders, and I'm like, why do you know that?
Oh yeah! Tumblr writes were wondering what the quote was, and someone clarified. I haven't been on Tumblr since like 2012, so I don't freaking remember. Not 2012, 2015. I forgot. I stopped like my freshman year of college.
I had a pretty hardcore falling out with like one particular friend who I had originally joined Tumblr because of this friend, and so I just sort of stopped being on there.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I don't miss it. People are getting back into it again, and I don't know why.
Because it's less toxic than Twitter?
Yeah, but like, I live and breathe Twitter.
And more unhinged.
Yeah. At least with Twitter, I understand the algorithm. That I very well likely understand how one could get... how one could game the system to become Twitter popular. I just don't have the spoons to do it. You have to post like 5, 6, 7 times a day, and I don't have the energy for that.
Why do you think so many people steal posts?
Yeah, exactly. I need to just go like manic one night and then just like put a bunch in drafts to auto post.
You have to go very manic.
Yeah. The same with TikTok. You're supposed to post like 3 to 5 times a day to get big on TikTok. My actual serious TikToks got like 800 views, and then the one shit post I made got 200,000 views.
Yeah.
And that got me to like 200 followers. I was like, oh, word.
What do you think people are doing on there?
Bees don't have lungs. I knew that. I never bothered with Twitter. I literally only have an account to see. This isn't allowed to unregistered users. When Notre Dame caught fire, the bees living there were safe because the smoke made them sleepy. That's a good fact. Thank you. Now I feel better about that. Recent Tumblr's become popular again. According to Tumblr, is that despite the hellish users on that site, it's actually figuring out what makes a good blogging site. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Like, it's a good place to blog. It's a better place to just be a wild fucking animal.
Dude, the fucking Denny's Tumblr account.
Yeah! Back in the day. That was my shit.
Dude, that was so unhinged.
Denny's was my favorite place in college. At what? You lost the train?
You can pay to hide ads, but at the same time you can show them anyway because sometimes the ads are really fucking weird.
Yeah, that's the one site that I wouldn't mind seeing the ads for. $10 to put someone else's post on blast. Ooh! So theoretically, you could pay $10 to put your own on blast.
They probably lock it so you can't do it to your own posts.
Oh. Because you can promote tweets. It keeps asking me if I want to promote my tweets, and I'm like, I don't know if anyone wants to see a promoted tweet that is a picture of cashew, but thank you. Like, would I get money from people seeing pictures of cashew? I don't know.
No, it would just push your reach.
Yeah, I would promote maybe like my Ko-fi. Be like, I'm transgender, give me money. $10 to make it show up akin to an ad, and every long-term Tumblr user knows that lots of attention on Tumblr is basically viewed as punishment. At least in my corner Tumblr, people either had to go through mental gymnastics to establish that something was perfect matched to their personal politics philosophy, would reject the literal worst. Please stop pinging me with notifications. Let me rot in my corner in peace. That's how I feel. I always feel bad in Discord that I'm like, I ping you guys like twice a day. And then at the same time, I'm just like, yeah, I don't fucking care. I'll let you guys get annoyed.
Doing because like people were saying, yeah, the reminder would be helpful.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if I'm annoying or not. And at the same time, I'm like, it's my space, so I do what I want. So if I don't do it, I also forget. I don't think you can promote other people's posts. That would lead to harassment. Because you might understand this kills discourse. There's no room for nuanced discussions. Yeah, you can't have a nuanced discussion on Twitter because you have like 260 characters.
I keep hitting the friggin' caps lock when I'm trying to hit tab.
I do that too. This is why I gotta get my glowing keys.
It doesn't help, my keys glow! I already have a backlit keyboard.
Still not as bad as what the Club Penguin remake was doing before they got arrested. They were pinging through. Arrested? Yeah, for piracy. Piracy is cool. I like pirates. They're hot.
In-game piracy is cool.
Yeah, pirates are really sexy. They go, yar. I like playing on Game Boys. Big Gay Crime. Disney came after. Yeah, Disney came after them. You can't do anything with Disney. Okay, here's the thing with that new Winnie the Pooh horror movie thing.
Winnie the Pooh is now in the public
He's
domain.
public domain, except the incarnation of Winnie the Pooh that is yellow with a red shirt is the Disney version.
Yeah, but
Disney owns the copyright to that version of Winnie the Pooh.
No, it only owned the copyright to the one with the red shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Winnie the Pooh was always yellow.
Yeah, he's always yellow. But he's got a red shirt in that horror movie. So they fucked up on that.
If there is anything that can stop that abomination from becoming a thing that exists in this world, then I will gladly accept it. Nobody asked for that.
Yeah. Simply nobody.
Like, I'm all for, doing horrendous shit with Disney properties that are becoming public domain, but, like, Winnie the Pooh was not originally a Disney property.
No. In fact, most of the Disney properties that are going out are other works.
Like, you wanna fucking make some raunchy art of Mickey Mouse when he goes into the public domain in like a year or two? Fucking do it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But like, some of this other stuff is like, please.
When the artists themselves have probably made the raunchy art. Taking childhood thing and making evil tired? Yes! Like, why? You can make a very good comedy Winnie the Pooh. There's so much you could do with Winnie the Pooh.
I honestly don't like Winnie the Pooh.
Okay. I love Winnie the Pooh.
He irritates me excessively.
He's a friend.
He's an idiot.
The problem with Winnie the Pooh is that he cares too much.
No, he's not self-aware. The problem is that he does things... He's basically a cat that can talk.
Yeah.
He bumbles around, he makes messes, he breaks things and never apologizes. He never accepts that what he did wasn't okay. Like, he basically teaches children that you can do whatever the hell you want and nobody's gonna do anything about it because you're cute or whatever. Like, I can't...
Okay. I
tried to watch the new Christopher Robin movie with Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
The
doofus dad.
I hated it so much because of the way that Winnie the Pooh is just... He's a bumbling buffoon and he doesn't learn from his mistakes.
Yeah.
And it drives me bananas.
I think the point is that the children are supposed to learn from the mistakes.
But if it's never acknowledged that what he did was not okay, then how are they supposed to learn from it?
Yeah.
Like...
What's the other thing I was thinking of? The one thing I do appreciate about Winnie the Pooh is that he is an inclusive friend.
Yes, that I will give you.
His inclusivity, like being okay with everyone being their different levels of neurosis and such, and including Eeyore.
Yes.
And
that I understand. And I also understand that Pooh is kind of akin to a person with autism spectrum disorder. However, because he's not self-aware even when his friends tell him that there's something wrong, and never acknowledges that maybe that thing he did, was not okay, that's where I have issues with it, right? Like, I'm fine with having representations of characters who, kind of reflect that, and I'm okay with characters who are, like, not self-aware in that they do make these mistakes because they don't realize ahead of time. However, they should also be able to learn and acknowledge, and hey, you did a thing without thinking that hurt your friend. You should apologize to your friend for hurting them, first of all.
Yeah.
Or like,
how do you change the color of your gun?
you have to have bought the other color. It should be, what does it say, current loadout?
It's not. I have the gun.
If you click on the power washer. Okay.
It's not under extensions, it's not under nozzle, and it's not under cleaning liquid. But I bought it! Do you see?
It's the little corner there. See where it has the thing and then it has the color in the corner? Click the corner.
Color at corner.
On the icon where it says the power washer.
There we go! I got a cupcake gun! Anyway, Winnie the Pooh!
Yeah, it bothers me because he's not ever held responsible for his choices.
Can you imagine Paddington becoming a public domain and their movies of Pooh and Paddington being best friends? That's cute!
That would be adorable. But they both have the same problem.
That they're both a little bumbling?
They're both little bumbling idiots and they never accept responsibility. Like, even toddlers can learn that, you know, hey, that thing you just did was not okay.
Yeah. Maybe we should write our own Winnie the Pooh.
Or they can be like, alright, well, you know, I understand you made a mistake, now we have to fix it, right? But Pooh is never held responsible for his action. He's
a war criminal!
He is a war criminal. He steals all of Rabbit's, like, honey and food and stuff, and just does not give a shit.
He, like, smashes into Rabbit's house?
Yeah, and Rabbit is just expected to deal with this and just tolerate it. And no wonder Rabbit is a neurotic friggin' mess. Would you be... Like, your house could be invaded at any time by this little yellow idiot who never accepts responsibility for the shit that he does. Like, come on.
You were so prepared for this discourse.
I have a lot of feelings about Winnie the Pooh.
I love you. Holy fuck. You're making like Caillou. I'm just a bear who's four. I have a rumbly in my tumbly.
Like...
I was like trying to think, because there's this new, like, you know, on TikTok there's like the different voices for the voiceovers.
Mm-hmm.
They have one that's Winnie the Pooh, and I thought I saw someone set the voiceover with the new Lizzo song, but I thought about actually like changing the lyrics and voice acting it.
Oh.
Be like, in a minute, I need I don't have it off the top of my head, but it's something like, in a minute, I'm gonna need a... What does he say about the honey? Oh my god. I had it in my head the other day. I don't have it as flawlessly executed.
I'm sure it'll come back to you at some point.
It will come back, and I will voice act it. Because I was like practicing it in the car, like a stupid idiot.
There's nothing stupid about practicing.
Yeah. But like I had the Pooh voice down, and now I don't. It like ran away from me. The only Winnie the Pooh I care about is the Soviet one. I don't know. Rabbit isn't perfect either. He thought it was a good idea to paint a face on his friend's ass. You're so right. Rabbit,
making the best out of a bad situation when Pooh gets
He's
stuck
versatile.
Pooh gets stuck in the hole in his house. I'm just like, you know what? Fucking go off, King.
Rabbit's the only one who would ever score a job interview.
I think Owl would be okay.
Oh yeah, but Owl can't read.
Well, Kanga.
Yeah, Kanga.
Kanga's probably the most responsible person there. And she gets tired of Pooh too!
Okay, but like, Tigger's worse.
Tigger... I don't think so. I'm sorry, that was really high-pitched, but like, I don't think that Tigger is worse, because Tigger actually sometimes demonstrates that he understands boundaries.
Yeah.
Who does not? understand boundaries at all. All right, outer walls done. But yeah, no,
Oh, Pooh, you messed up my moves as if Pooh wasn't supposed to be ticklish when his butt was being used as a camera. Yeah, you're so. We just need like a group watching of Winnie the Pooh so we can dunk on it. We gotta finish our flag, and then we'll have a group watch of Winnie the Pooh.
I thought you were gonna do a group watch of Centaur World.
Oh yeah. No, we gotta group watch so much. I'll just throw Winnie the Pooh into the movie night mix.
Rotation.
Yeah. We can watch both versions. We can just have a double feature Winnie the Pooh night.
There are a lot of Winnie the Pooh movies, actually.
Yeah, I was thinking like the one I watched, the Blustery Day one. It covers multiple stories.
Oh, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh?
Yes!
Yeah.
I used to, whenever I was anxious, I used to sing the I'm just a little black rain cloud, pay no attention to little me. I used to love that. It was like my go-to calm me down when I was in college. I was obsessed with Pooh as a kid. Like, it was excessive.
Like, children don't fully understand, you know, the context and the writing.
Yeah.
To them, it's just a lot of fun, right? It's a lot of silliness. It's a lot of fun. And I also understand that children don't really absorb the things that we see as adults.
Yeah.
You know, because kids don't watch that and think, "Oh, I can do whatever I want," because their parents should be teaching them, you know, how to behave like people.
Yeah. Pink elephants on parade did not scare me. In fact, I loved it, but Heffalumps and Woozles unsettled me. Oh, Finn was talking about how he had nightmares from Heffalumps and Woozles. Man. I got that nostalgia.
I didn't watch Winnie the Pooh as a child.
Like, I watched a lot of it.
Oh, dude, you want to know what I did watch as a child that I went back and tried to watch as an adult and it was horrendous?
What?
I want to say, I think it was like a Don Bluth movie or something.
I love Don Bluth.
And it was called, like, Princess and the Goblin.
Ooh.
And it was bad.
Kira did 3 short Winnie the Pooh movies, 11 minutes. Yeah, we can watch those if they're that short. Dog sitting, family, friends, dogs, and one has been put in food jail.
Oh, Hooch is in food jail. So Hooch is a pug. He's a fat pug. And he will try to eat all of the other dogs' food. So he gets locked in Nan's room when it's dinner time.
Aww.
So we call it Hooch's food jail.
That's
and he
cute.
He sits in there and cries.
One of my most distinct childhood memories was I watched Piglet's Big Movie so many times that I broke my VHS player.
You seem like a spiritual sibling to Piglet.
I was obsessed with Piglet. And I remember my first cat, I wanted to name him Piglet. And so I grabbed this black cat by the neck. I was like 2 years old. And I was like, Piglet! My mom was like, we're not naming a cat Piglet. And I was like, Piglet! And she's like, we'll name it Bear. Like Pooh Bear. I was like, okay. So I was cool with that. Because they're like, we're not naming a cat Pooh. I don't know why, I was always so obsessed with Piglet. And now as an adult, I'm like, yeah. It makes sense.
People name their cats things like pot roast sandwich, so like...
Yeah. It was the 90s. Apparently, being ironic was not a thing for parents.
You were too. You didn't know how to be ironic.
Yeah, I said Piglet. All dogs go to heaven. What's that one Don Bluth movie where they get vaporized at the end? That was Don Bluth, right? Where the children get vaporized by Santa?
What?
Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
I mean, we can check it out later. Oh, I also remember a animated movie that I used to watch a lot as a kid was like a Snow White movie, but it was like, it was, I think it was called Happily Ever After.
Oh.
And it was about Snow White, but she didn't like go and meet the dwarves. She met these female versions that they called dwarf elves, and I'm just like, what?
Okay.
Like, as a kid, I loved this movie. I don't remember anything about it except for that, and I think I saw a video about it on YouTube at some point, and I was like, what in the fresh fuck is this? And as it turns out, the dwarf elves all had magical powers. And there was like some other weird shit happening. I don't remember, but I distinctly remember the VHS cover of the movie. So I was able to find it later and like look up some information about it, and I'm just like, this is so unhinged.
I don't think Don Bluth was aware that he was making a czar propaganda. He was just making a movie that fucking slapped.
You're talking about Anastasia? I
Yeah.
fucking love Anastasia!
Yeah,
That's
that movie just rules.
That's the one of the movies that I can continue to enjoy because it's just a good movie. Like, propaganda or not,
it's just a good movie, yeah.
Yeah. I also
okay, I'm gonna look up that Santa movie. Maybe it wasn't Don Bluth.
I liked Titan AE. It's another Don Bluth movie.
Okay, Jill, did you ever grow up with, like, Christian versions of kids movies?
Nope.
Okay, I don't know if anyone here did. I did not, but there's like this YouTuber I was following for a while who would buy them and then review them, and it'd be like getting rid of they would be poorly animated versions of popular like Disney and Don Bluth movies.
Kind of like the bootleg Chinese versions.
Yeah. Ooh, where am I going? Yeah, like, there's a one with Beauty and the Beast, and I'm trying to remember how it goes. I haven't watched this video in maybe like 3 years, and when I watched it, I was insanely baked. But like, she goes to the castle on her own accord. It's not to save her dad. And like her dad dies, and she's trying to get the beast to help with her dead dad or whatever. Hi, Mr. Clips. I just remembered the worst case of a childhood movie. Yeah, apparently one of those characters is trans. Because a male dog cannot give birth, or whichever character gave birth.
Excuse me?
Yeah, doesn't a character give birth at the end of Milo and Otis?
No, they find, like...
What movie was that? Was that Homeward Bound? Am I confusing them?
I don't think so. Milo and Otis does have, like, baby animals, but, like, it's because the two of them go out and find themselves wives. Like, and have babies.
Oh, maybe I'm crazy.
It's not like a...
Mr.
It's not
Clamps.
like a they have the babies thing.
I love Mr. Clamps.
They changed the texture of the roof in this level. It's so much easier to see shit.
None of the male characters give... Okay. Maybe I blacked out that movie. I watched that in the 2nd grade, so I don't remember anything.
I actually think Milo and Otis is a fairly cute movie. It's weird, but it's kind of cute. I don't, however, enjoy the fact that they apparently were really horrible to the animals.
They were?
To my knowledge, yeah.
Holy fuck. Treasure Planet? No.
Planet.
No, I watched that one recently, but that one didn't really imprint on me the way that it did with most people on the internet.
What, Treasure Planet?
Yeah.
I remember watching Treasure Planet with my grandparents, and I remember the specific jokes in the beginning of the movie that each of them laughed at.
I remember the only time I watched Treasure Planet as a kid, I was watching it in the car. Jamie! Hello? They find a female cat and pug, and they both gave birth. Okay. But yeah, I watched Treasure Planet on like one of those portable DVD players for your car on a road trip. So like I don't really remember because the volume was terrible.
Oh my gosh, they fixed this so. This is so good. This roof used to be like all one section instead of like these multiple sections of like beams and shingles, and it was like the whole goddamn roof, and it took so long to clean.
It's weird to think about filming a cat giving birth, but it did help me when it came to me watching. Oh, that's really cool. Clampy's playing Sid Meier's Civilization right now.
Nice.
Just got the notification. Put you on blast, Clampy. I thought Milo Rose was really cute, but the animal abuse behind the scenes breaks my heart. I did not know that.
Yeah, I heard about, like, they went through so many Milos and Otises because they were just mistreating them.
That is horrifying.
It is horrifying. It's like, yeah, the movie's really cute, but...
Now I don't want to watch it.
It's, like, it's weird, like, as an adult to watch it, because, like, you're looking at this and you're like, this is literally, like, this one man doing all of the voices.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest part about it, is that it was just one dude. Like, the context seems to be, like, a man is telling a story to a kid or something, and so he's doing all the voices. But, like, it's so weird.
Jamie's flipping me off. Damn, Jamie, what'd you do to yourself? They had a bear and a pug on the same set. Oh my god. Ooh. Does Nan want to play Sea of Thieves with Nana? Nana's looking for people for their crew.
Yeah, Nan's playing right now.
Ooh. Nana cannot play right now. I need the bandwidth.
Like, Nan came home from work today and immediately got on Sea of Thieves.
That's what Nana does now. It's cute.
Yeah, because, like, I googled it and did some reading, and apparently, so she accidentally made herself 2 Xbox accounts or Microsoft accounts. And so it was trying to sign her into the one that she made for Minecraft, because Mojang has been like, yeah, we're not holding your accounts anymore. You have to link them to Microsoft accounts. And I'm like, well, this is bullshit.
Monopoly.
Except she didn't realize, well, they got bought by Microsoft, whatever.
Yeah.
But she didn't realize that that an Xbox Live account is also a Microsoft account, and so she made a new Microsoft account. Well, that one was then logged in or like attached to her Steam or something, and so when she got her new computer that she's on now, it tried to log her into this other account. Well, as it turns out, you can just log in and then log out from the menu of Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just like, well, you should have a log out button or sign out button, and then you can just log into the other account. And it's like, that's all it took. And it's gotta be like, it's been like a month or more that we just haven't played the game because she didn't want to play and lose her progress.
Yeah.
Which is understandable.
Get to keep my starboat. Cool. Yeah, I was watching Nana play a little bit today. But this is really... The thing that annoys me is that, like, you can't just log out. You know, like, your ship will not be saved. Like, the items on your ship will not be saved.
Right. It's a single instance. Every time you log in, you start fresh.
I don't know how I feel about that. It's just kind of weird to me. Can I make the cock wet? Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a sentence that's been said.
That's one rusty chicken. One scene where Milo has to jump off a cliff to save himself from seagulls. Multiple cats? What the heck? Why didn't they just use puppetry? You could have used like a taxidermy cat. I don't understand.
Because they wanted it to be authentic. They also didn't actually care about the animal.
Isn't that illegal?
Not then. It
Oh
is
my
now.
god. Disney killed a fuck ton of lemmings in White Wilderness. I don't think I've ever seen that. What the shit is a
lemming?
You don't know what a lemming is?
No.
They're like a little rodent guy, and they're famous for following each other.
That I've heard of the word. I didn't know it was an actual animal.
Yeah. They're kind of, you know, Bean Rat. Bean Rat's based on a lemming.
Bean Rat, I thought was based on a rat.
Nope, based on a lemming.
Okay.
Because they were playing Jackbox, and the picture was of these lemmings. And Cass was like, Junie was like, look at these Bean Rats. And thus Bean Rat was born. We love Bean Rat. That's why when Call the Wild movie adaptation was 100% CGI dog. Whoa. They didn't get a dog with a theater degree?
Sorry. a degree professional.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I need to take my sweater off. Whew. Get my window open. You made me laugh so hard that I'm sweating. My ass is stuck to my seat.
That doesn't take much. You're always sweaty.
Yeah. Like, my room was, like, freezing cold when I got home, and I was like, hell yeah, let me get in my cave. The minute I turn my lights on, it's like 1,000 degrees.
I will say about Milo and Otis is that I like the little song that they sing in the intro of the movie.
What are they?
It's like, we're gonna take a walk outside today and gonna see what we can find today. And it's like, it's just really cute.
It's kind of like the Arthur intro. I love Arthur. That show was the shit. Did you watch Arthur as a kid, or is that past your time?
I didn't really watch TV as a kid.
Oh. All I did was watch cartoons.
Nope.
Because I didn't have friends.
I didn't have friends, but I also didn't watch cartoons.
All I cared about was cartoons.
I read books. I started reading Harry Potter when I was in 3rd grade. And I played video games. And yeah, I didn't really get to watch TV as a kid.
My parents wouldn't let me play video games. Like, they let me play Pokemon, and that was it.
Yeah,
they wouldn't let me play console.
But yeah, I remember in elementary school, I read so much that we had like these contests for like how many pages did you read, and because I was reading the thick She Who Must Not Be Named books, I was getting like at the top of that fucking reading list every time, even though
Cool.
this was when I was in 5th grade and the teacher fucking hated me. Like,
why?
Like, blatantly hated me and treated me really shitty.
Why?
Because I had untreated ADHD and was highly intelligent and already understood all of the material we were being taught.
Oh my god, maybe that's... Okay, because I strictly remember, so like 1st grade, our learn how to read modules, I had them done in 2 weeks. Everybody else had them done by like 2-3 months. You know, and it was just like, I was the first one done with all the modules. And I remember growing up, I didn't really pay attention in school, and yet I had like near perfect grades. And I could never explain why I never needed to study, you know? It's just like, why did I not have to study? Why did I just, like, do this with barely any effort?
Yeah, but a lot of the stuff that you learn in elementary school is just like basic knowledge, right?
Yeah.
It's not a lot of in-depth stuff. And so when we started getting into stuff that was more like in-depth and actually required me to pay attention, that's when I had a hard time in school. But yeah, my 5th grade teacher was openly antagonistic towards me, and it was the wildest thing. It's even crazier to me now, having actually worked in a school. I'm like, why would you treat a 10-year-old like that?
Yeah.
Like,
It's just a kid, dude. Like,
this guy separated me from the other kids because supposedly I was misbehaving. Made me sit in front of his desk at the front of the classroom, so I was separated from my peers. I already had a hard enough time making friends, and this just made it worse. And my mom went to the school board and was like, listen, there's something clearly not working here. And she petitioned, be like, okay, well, you know, if we, because my problem was I couldn't do homework.
Yeah.
So we'll have a really hard time doing any kind of work, you know, in an environment that is not strictly for work.
That's my cock.
Well, you didn't clean your cock. I had to finish cleaning it for you.
I was bringing this to clean it.
All you had to do was hop over to the other side like I did.
I fell off the roof. I need to call OSHA. I have an injury.
Anyways, so my mom went to the school board and was like, well, you know, clearly she's not learning, she is learning the material. And she's like, if we only base her grade on what actually gets turned in, which was like, you know, tests because you do them in class and stuff that was, you know, completed at school and whatever. And then all of a sudden I was getting really high grades because guess what? I actually knew the material, but I couldn't fucking sit down and do the work.
Yeah.
And of course that wasn't something that prompted the conversation of, oh, well, maybe there's something else going on here.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna comment. I didn't know 5th grade teachers could tenure. Nowadays, it took me months to read The Hobbit, and it's taking me time to read Lord of the Rings.
All I know
I haven't read a book in like 2 years. Like last time I read a book, 2020.
When I went back to that elementary school for my senior breakfast when I was about to graduate, that teacher looked at me and immediately looked away and pretended like I wasn't there. Like, he still knew who I was, like, 6, 7 years later. And resented me. Fantastic!
How are you?
I watched this man, this like 60-something-year-old man, look me in the eye, and then like I could see it in his face that he was like, the cogs were turning, and then he just walked away.
He was just like, you!
And like the
grounds
other
for firing.
It was at the senior breakfast. I was on my way out the door.
Yeah.
The other teachers there were all like talking to the other students and like catching up with them. Oh, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. One teacher talked to me when I was at my senior breakfast. It was the PE teacher, and he had to read my name tag to know who I was.
Oh my god.
Like, yeah.
I'm doing good-tastic. I'm here. I was tired earlier when I was watching Sith, but now I'm doing cool. How do I rotate this?
Scroll wheel, I think.
Oh my god, I am a wizard. It doesn't fit.
But yeah,
too wide.
I had a shitty time in elementary school. I had a shitty time in most school, but at least in high school there were enough other nerds that I actually had friends. Like, my friends in elementary school were not
Yeet.
Not very good friends. I specifically remember one girl who lived close to me and invited me to her house twice. I literally could walk to her house from mine, and I got invited to her place one time for like a sleepover, and there was like 4 other girls or something.
I was invited to a sleepover like once. The girls didn't want to hang out with me. There was something off about me. Now I know why. My whole life is just being like, oh, that was a trans thing.
Well, I don't have that.
Yeah.
I don't have that. So, I was just a weird kid, I guess. The door's not done? Really?
I don't understand what I'm missing on the door.
Is it the top part? Is like above the frame?
I'm highlighting and nothing's happening. Oh, it's behind the ring. Very clever.
When I was 17 and graduating high school, I was not brave enough to call people out on their shit. So I did not say anything to the teachers who were blatantly ignoring me. I had a similar situation happen with an ex-friend. I didn't know we were ex-friends when this happened. Here's another story.
And they were exes.
Well, I didn't know that we weren't friends anymore.
I think I still talked to one person from high school.
She had made this decision, without my input. Her hadn't told me. But it was a friend that I spent like every other week at her place. Like we went back and forth, spending time together, and like we practically lived at each other's houses. We spent so much time together, and I remember that I was going to the wedding of some mutual friends, or like they got married and then they had like a reception, right? And I saw this person, and I watched her, and I said hello to her, and I watched her look at me, dead expression, and then turn and walk away.
Holy fuck. I only have like 2 IRL friends from high school, and we still keep up with each other. Yeah, I don't talk to anybody from high school. My class was like, 16 people, and I was like, these people are not worth talking to.
I had a handful of friends that I still hung out with after I graduated, until it just suddenly stopped.
They're all just like really cliquey and very Catholic. It's just like, they don't want anything to do with me because I'm queer.
Alright, there's a window in window frame.
Yeah, I'm trying to get up the ladder, but I'm not very good at climbing ladders in this game.
Side eaves, so part of the...
Why am I
cellar door
not getting up this ladder?
I don't know, maybe it just didn't like you today.
It keeps throwing me off the ladder.
Well, you could just call Shrapnel a childhood friend, because that's what he is. Like...
Yeah, you guys are childhood friends.
Yeah, that's different than a friend from high school. It's a childhood friend. I don't talk to anybody that I knew as a child. I have like one friend on Facebook, which I wouldn't even really call her a friend. That I went to like, I don't know, first grade or something with, and she randomly found me and added me, and like that was the end of it.
Can you fight the ladder for me? It keeps eating me off.
Jeez. Where is it? Oh.
It's this one. See, watch what happens. That's as far as I can go.
Huh.
And then I try to do that, and it kicks me off.
Okay.
But yeah, I just don't talk to anybody really from... I don't talk to anybody from middle school or elementary.
I'm gonna be on the other side.
And people from high school? One, barely, but I'm not on Facebook anymore. I deleted my Facebook, so we don't talk. The only thing I remember about him is that he's a Danganronpa cosplayer.
Alright, side eaves. It's gotta be part of the roof.
Yeah, I'm taking a peep. Not sure.
Or
Oh, there we go.
all right. Well, there's. Oh, it's underneath. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now I know what to look for. Found the other one. So yeah, it
Yeah.
was just high school was an okay-ish time for me socially, just because like I had a handful of nerds, but um, and I did okay with teachers in high school, but the teachers in elementary school were fucking awful.
Yeah.
And the worst part about it is that the 3 teachers in 5th grade were also the same 3 teachers that taught the 6th graders.
Yeah.
Um, and it was just like, so my life was gonna be hell for 2 years. And that was when my mom went to the school board and was like, "Hey, we need to move her up because she already knows everything for 6th grade." Like I did like the standardized test at the 6th grade level and like fucking aced it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I remember, like, I was in the Johns Hopkins Center for Talented Youth,
Oh, I
and
didn't get that
my
far.
my parents had me take the ACT at the same time as my brother. Granted, we're 4 years apart, so he had to take it for his college apps. And they're like, let's just put him in so that, you know, for fun, see how smart he is. I scored higher than him. I got like a 32 out of 35.
I got a 31 on my ACT.
As someone who was actually supposed to take it at the proper age, I had a 29. So I was smarter as a kid. So it just goes to show that the anxiety that I had, or I guess I was a better test taker, the anxiety that I had as a teenager is really what just ruined me in terms of standardized testing.
Standardized testing just fucking sucks anyway.
Yeah.
And we talked before
It's based on
about
the
how
score. It's based on the scores of the people around you. So if the cohort that you take it with scores particularly low and your score is high, your score will be dropped down into the average bell curve. It's really weird. That's how you get such a varying score every single time.
I mean, the SAT is arguably worse, but
Yeah, that's the one that I'm talking about.
oh no, I took the ACT, not the
Yeah.
SAT.
No, I took the ACT. The SAT is the one with the bell curve and your scores drop with the people around you.
Okay, well the 2 different tests, I got a 31 on the ACT.
Yeah, ACT was easy. The SAT was like grueling. I had to take it on my birthday one year.
Oh, it.
Because they only did it on Saturdays. Obviously. My birthday was on a Saturday that year, so I wore my favorite Homestuck shirt so that everyone knew that I was a weirdo. And I said, it's my birthday, I gotta be here, I wear the shirt.
I mean, I didn't. I remember the weirdest thing I remember about it was that they gave us like wooden number 2 pencils to use.
Yeah. I
Like,
borrowed
no,
a
you can't use
calculator.
your own pencil.
I borrowed a calculator from a pretty girl. I wanted to ask her number, but I didn't want to be weird.
So when
I was in high school. I was desperate.
I mean, same, but I
Yeah.
also never asked anybody out, so. Or like the one person that I kind of had a crush on, he was gay as hell. So.
I dated a friend, and we were both trans, but didn't know it. I owe a lot of my current identity to her. She was like one of those many trans women who are like, I'm trans because I played Dark Souls. She's the reason why I played. I was like, I'm gonna play this game because she dared me. She literally dared me. She was like, I dare you to play Dark Souls. If you can't beat it, blah blah blah. I don't remember like what the stakes were, but I was like, oh, I can beat it. It took me 9 months, but I beat it, and she was amazed. I was like, this is my first time playing a console game. Here we go. Bam.
Yeah, I didn't go on a date until I was out of high school.
My first date was Wreck-It Ralph. I had the flu. I went to the theater with the flu. How embarrassing.
Imagine doing that now.
Yeah. Couldn't be me.
Well, I just mean like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People will do anything doing their nasty, yucky grossness. Like, I'll be at work and I'll hear a baby coughing like it's got the croup. I'll just be like, oh, no, no, no. Don't take your coughing nasty baby to Target.
My
Stop.
brother actually had croup.
Yeah.
So,
Pretty rare nowadays.
The way that the coughing sounds is like a seal barking.
Yeah.
So
like,
here's a
toddlers bark
fun
like
story. That. No, they don't cough like that though.
No, when they have COVID, they do.
My brother was in like 1st grade or something when he got croup, and the teacher apparently thought that he was making these noises like to play around.
Oh.
And so she didn't send him to the nurse or like, you know, make sure he was okay. And my mom had a fucking fit.
Yeah, because your mom works in healthcare, so like she would know.
Well, anybody would have a fucking fit about finding out that your kid was in respiratory distress and the teacher was laughing, thinking that he was playing around and being funny. So, yeah, she was fucking livid.
We'll take you on a date, Mothman. You, me, and Jill.
Where are we going?
Kentucky Fried Chicken. No, they're vegan or vegetarian.
Don't want to go to KFC then.
We're going to Denny's.
Yeah, we can go to Denny's.
We'll have a nice romantic date at Denny's, and you can info dump as much as you want.
See,
or if we've been on a date. That was a date. I don't care. Shrap was our third wheel.
Shrap seems like the kind of guy who would be a third wheel.
Yeah. You got to info dump about animals, and we got to look at a turtle. That counts as a date. Platonic dates are a thing. It's not just friends hanging out.
I mean, here's what I don't understand. Why is friends hanging out not considered a date?
Oh my god, yes, let's go see Morbius. It's Morbin time! Yeah, friends hanging out should be a date.
Mighty Morbin Power Rangers.
For real, though, like, I'm someone who values platonic relationships over romantic relationships.
I place equal value on them, and it really just depends on how much I vibe with the person as to whether or not the time that I spend with them is more, I guess,
I think I'm just jaded. Because I didn't really have a lot of friends growing up. But also, like, the societal pressure put on romantic relationships is a little excessive. Morbius is one of the movies ever made. Did you see that they streamed Morbius on Twitch? And the Twitch staff, instead of taking it down right away, waited until the credits started because they were watching it? They didn't want to stop. They were like, yeah, whatever, we'll keep watching it. This shit makes me laugh.
Cool.
I don't know what the fuck Morbius is about.
Jared Leto being a vampire?
He must be morbing around.
He's morbid out. I don't know. I tried to watch that really crunchy version. I could have handled the crunchy,
Dance the dance of personal boundaries.
See, I could have handled it looking like a motion capture JPEG, but I could not handle the crunchy audio.
I'll see a movie with a friend, but if people think we're dating romantic, it's time to hear the implication, expectations, and we. Yeah! Here's another thing. When I used to live with my roommate before I lived with Nana, people thought that we were dating, and I was like, no. We're both very gay in opposite directions. Like, we are not into each other in that way. Like, why can't just, like, two people of different genders also hang out and be friends?
Well, I
And,
mean,
like, we did datey stuff. Like, I took her to Olive Garden one time, and the whole staff thought that we were on a date. And I was like, I mean, yeah, but not in that way.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make me uncomfortable. But I'm also the kind of person who is equally affectionate with friends as I am with partners, just like with the boundary of, hey, I'm not gonna do like sexual things.
Oh, yeah.
To each other.
Like, me and Nana cuddle all the time.
Right.
They just like to sap me for my body heat.
You are very warm.
I am sweating so much right now.
But like, and that's the thing that I also don't understand is like for me, the boundary between romantic partner and really good friend is very thin.
Yeah. What a picture of a goddamn hot dog! Thank you, Orville. I don't think I cleared out all the ooh-woos below, so it must have been hard to find. Yeah, I was having a hard time with the thing earlier when I was watching Sith. I think it's a sound alerts issue across the board.
Like, it's...
Yeah, let's watch the movie with the volume off.
It's a conversation that I've had more than once with people, is like, hey, you know, I understand that I'm, like, super affectionate, and, like, it might look adjacent to what could be a romantic relationship, but I promise you that if I felt that way, I would tell you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Also, boundaries. I respect them.
Like, kiss the homies goodnight. I'm not opposed to that. As long as the other person, if the other person's like, yeah, you can kiss me goodnight, I'll be like, hell yeah.
Have head smooches goodnight.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, I would kiss any of my homies on the forehead with special permission. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, anything you want in the most friendly manner, I'll do it.
Like, I mean, there's even an argument that could be made for, like the kind of kiss, you know, kiss your grandma type of smooches.
Just like, I want.
Like, who cares, right? It just depends on the people and their boundaries.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I haven't seen the movie, but Morbius' whole deal in the comics was that Spider-Man had defeated the Comics Code Authority, but since that was made in no small part to piss on horror comics, Marvel was pussyfooting around literal horror monsters. What? I don't think I comprehended any of that. I'm too busy thinking about kissing the homies goodnight.
Valid.
That's a love language. A living vampire. Oh, okay.
I saw another thing today about how Squirrel Girl is canonically the most powerful MCU character.
Fuck yeah. We have vampires at home. Yeah. I think I remember Sith having a Morbius cup in there.
Yeah, Squirrel Girl is MCU. She's defeated, well, not MCU, but like the comics. I apologize. She is being added to the MCU in a new show, though. So.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But she is officially the most powerful Marvel character. In the comics, she has defeated Deadpool and Thanos, and like they have fucking other characters that are in the scene to specify that this is the real Thanos. She's defeated Doctor Doom, and not like Doombot or whatever. It's like actual Doctor Doom, and they have other characters around who can say for sure, yes, this is the real person she's actually defeated.
And you're talking about Raiden there?
Like it is insane.
Right? Oh yeah.
Hello, Puds. Welcome. Thank you for the raid. How are you doing? What are you guys up to? We're talking about Morbius while playing Powerwash Simulator, and I just unlocked a donut gun.
We're also talking about kissing the homies goodnight.
Yeah, we want to kiss the homies goodnight. If you are a homie and you want to get kissed goodnight, hey. But for those who don't know, my name is Bulba, and I'm a queer streamer, and I play indie and Nintendo games. I say trans rights are human rights, and I love playing the games. How was your stream? What are you up to? And if you need to take a little break to take care of your body after your stream, that is also totally welcome. I catch up on what Orville said. Her power is that she can defeat anyone?
Basically, she summons a shitload of squirrels.
That's OP? Kind of genuine silliness that I think is missing. Boundary between platonic and romantic relationships entirely depends on the people involved. I've heard that people are straight up marrying their friends just because they're best friends and want... Yeah! I'm not opposed to getting a domestic partnership either. But I'm getting slowly to the end of Nier Automata in stream, and I'm not ready for the sob fest that's upcoming for me. That is such a relatable statement. Maybe not with Nier Automata, but like... Kubi is a really cool character. That's all I know about that game. But, like, there's some games I'm pretty close to the end of. A lot of games I find myself, like, finishing halfway. And then, like, or most of, like, 80% of the way and not wanting to finish them because I don't want it to be over. It's a good book.
It's roof time.
Roof time, baby!
Yeah, I think we got all the sidewalls, so it's
Nuh-uh.
roof time.
Oh, we didn't get this.
Well, yeah, but, like, that's technically floor.
Her powers are can talk to squirrels and can defeat anyone. Was she like originally like a joke character or like 100% serious?
I think she was originally like a.
Get off the ladder.
I'm.
With anime a huge amount of time, I can't count how many there are, and that I just haven't watched the last episode. I think my most notable is BioShock. I probably played BioShock like 8 times. But like, I never beat the game. In all the times I played it.
It's like super short.
I know. Because I'm enjoying it so much, I don't want it to be over. And I don't want to end the mystery. You know?
It's not that mysterious.
It's not that mysterious, but like, I can't bring myself to finish it.
Arguably, I think BioShock 2 is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. You can't convince me to ever finish BioShock. Maybe I'll do it on stream sometime. I don't know.
It is a really good game.
Yeah. Oh, I'm about to start a playthrough of BioShock again. I keep getting halfway and then ADD brain kicks in. Same!
Speaking of BioShock, the BioShock collection is for free right now on Epic Games.
I already have it. I have it on PlayStation.
I claimed it anyway because I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's free, like, and it's a $60 like.
My brother also bought it for me on Switch, so I have it. So if I got it on that, I'd have it on 3.
Don't play it.
I don't know why he did that. I don't know. I might sell it.
Oh, you have a physical copy?
Yeah, he bought me a physical copy on Switch.
Oof.
I was like,
cannot
Ben, I already
imagine-
own this game. I have it on my PlayStation.
Number one, playing the game on PC is probably going to make it a more like a smoother experience.
It runs really well on my PlayStation.
When's the last time you used your PlayStation?
We use it to watch Scooby-Doo.
All
Last
right.
time we played a game, Nana was playing Uncharted maybe a month ago. It still runs pretty well. First time I played BioShock Trilogy, I finished 2 around the 4th of July. I attempted to make an annual tradition of playing BioShock 2 every year, but it got tired. That was me with my... Every spring, I used to play... I was playing through the entire Fallout series, and I got to New Vegas in, like, around this time, in May, and I was just, like, so angry. I hated that game so much that I would have an annual playthrough of Fallout New Vegas to make sure I still hated it. I loved the cowboy aesthetic, and I would find myself being like so obsessed with the aesthetic, but like still hating the game.
What the fuck?
I don't do
Why
it
are you
anymore.
Why are you like this?
I was a very weird person.
Dude, you're still a weird person.
I'm
What do
still
you
a
mean
weird
was?
person, but I was a differently neurotic person. If you were watching Scooby-Doo with us on our... the S in PS4 stands for Scooby. On our Play Scooby 4, Velma from the Mystery Inc. series. She's like, I'm better than everybody. I was kind of like that. I might hear your New Vegas opinions. I've heard a big one is that the games become supremely watered down in their messages. Yeah.
Might I hear your New Vegas onions? That's wonderful.
I also call them onions, but I just like...
Was that intentional?
We call it unions onions, so that Warp doesn't know we're talking about them. It's an intensely overrated game that gets way too much smoke blown up its ass, and possibly because Obsidian Entertainment could sell its piss, and Phantom would drink its liquid gold. You are so right! The Obsidian Bros are insane! Ugh. You didn't get in the Facebook dialogue. Terrible. I would literally go on Facebook in the Fallout groups and fight people. I'd write 3,000 words or some shit in one night, just to bitch about fucking Fallout New Vegas.
All right, so what are your gripes?
It like breaks the continuity of all Fallout games starting in a vault. You're not even like a citizen who is inside the vault. It's the first game and only game where it's like that. You know, you're just a guy who got shot. You're a postman who got shot. Like, you don't even start, like I said, you don't start in a vault. The whole series is about leaving the vault, you know, and like exploring the world outside the vault. You're already outside of the world, so like, what's the point? It breaks this narrative structure that's integral to like every Fallout game. Yeah, there's a whole like the whole like fascism thing. Okay, that's in like every game, but like the one in this one is just like it's reusing a plot that's existed already in American politics. It's nothing novel. It's just like, what if we did the Civil War but with robots? But in a not novel way. You're not involved, but yeah, you're in a closed off community, you know? And then like the whole Benny shit, I'm like, this guy, he's not even an interesting character. He's just a fuckboy in a plaid jacket. So I was able in one playthrough to homosexually romance Benny.
I have no context for any of this, so I'm just here for the ride.
The only character I really cared about was Arcade, because he was a gay scientist. I'm gonna take a break from here and watch a little TV before bed. Thank you for being amazing. These awesome streams this week. I needed them after a big week, and have a great rest of your stream, and I appreciate you. I love you, Tastic! Thank you so much. I was kind of having a little doubt feeling this whole week. I was like, why does Tastic keep complimenting my streams? Like, I don't feel like they've been on par with the content I've been delivering, but I don't have any way to measure that. Because numbers don't mean anything.
Right.
But like, I emotionally did not feel into it this week. So if Tastic says they're great, I believe him.
Apparently all you needed was to power wash your sins away.
Yeah, basically. Benny shot you in the head at the start to steal your platinum chip for his group so he could control New Vegas. Long story short, the platinum chip was a computer piece disguised as a casino token. Whichever group plugged it into the computer basically ruled the region. Yeah, basically. Just an annoying game.
And on today's episode of Nan Explains the Plot to Me.
Yeah, basically.
I would not understand so much of Final Fantasy XIV if not for her.
Yeah, so imagine me as a postman fucking the man who shot me in the head.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, so I like fucked him and then killed him immediately after I fucked him.
All right, praying mantis.
Yeah. I was like, that's what you get for shooting me in the head. I think that was like my second hate playthrough.
I can't say that I've ever done anything specifically because I hated it.
You're not the same level of neurotic as I am, I guess.
No, I'm not.
You're blessed.
I decide that I dislike something and I'm like, yeah, this can go fuck itself. And then I never go back to it.
What do you mean I keep adding new things? Orville, what does that mean? To stream? Or like, the shit I say? The 3 factions, other than running it yourself, which is the good quest line in the game, are Mr. House, Cyborg Fascist Howard Hughes, NCR, American Neocon Fascists. Yeah, the whole game is just fascists! The other thing is, like, the first character I played was a female, and if you go to Caesar's Legion as a female, you basically can't do any of the quests unless your charisma stat is at, like, 90% fulfilled. Because they're like, you're a stupid woman. And I played a female that round, and it was just like, okay, cool, I guess I'll go to NCR. They literally built so much sexism into the game.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So, the thing that Nan just posted was, Minfilia made a high-pitched noise at me for 3 minutes. It means she's sad about politics and needs you to go dance at some cabbage. Cool, bye.
Dance at some cabbage.
I don't... I think that is the Sylph quests, because they kind of look like little cabbage fairies.
Okay.
And
I
you
like
do
cabbage
actually have
fairies.
to dance. You actually do have to dance to them in order for them to like talk to you and like,
Oh,
help
okay.
with your problems.
It's
So,
kind of like the guys in
only
Zelda.
That's only a little bit facetious.
It's like the little guys in Zelda, the nut guys. Why am I blanking? What are they called?
Deku?
Yeah, the Deku. They sometimes try to sell NCR as good guys, but also have them casually. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like military police.
Oh, you said NCR. I kept hearing MCR, and I was like, what did My Chemical Romance ever do to you?
New California Republic. Wow.
Listen, I may be stupid.
You're not stupid. You're just a different type of neurotic. There needs to be like the MBTI, but for different types of neurotic. Which I guess is the MBTI. I vacillate between thinking and feeling.
Something that is very amusing that I do, or at least it amuses other people, because is that I get like weirdly antagonistic about very specific things. So there's this one character in 14 that I just detest. I cannot stand her, and there's no reason for it. And I went on a 30-minute rant about what does she even do? What is her purpose? Like, why is she here? And everybody was trying to defend this character.
Like Winnie the Pooh.
The long and the short of it was that she was more important in the previous iteration of the game.
Okay.
And so because she mattered to the narrative at that point, they just kind of threw her in to the rewritten game. And it was just like, you're basically told that she's your bestie now, and there's no demonstration for that, so you have like no attachment to the character.
Oh.
It's like, oh yeah, you're now loyal to this person, and she's asking you to do all these things.
It's like in a dating game, and you have a bestie, but they don't tell any stories. So it's like, why would you choose your best friend option?
Well, not even just that, but like this character, you canonically have not met her before.
Oh yeah, like Bianca and Sharon, yeah.
Yeah, so I hate Minfilia so much. I detest her existence, and there's no good reason for it. She has really bad voice acting, first of all, but that's not like the character's fault. But she's just there. She's this leader of this group that you have to help and do things with, and all the other characters that are in the group you have interactions with, and like you get a feel for their personality. Minfilia has none. Like, up until very you have to get
Hi,
past...
Ethan.
Hi.
He got me writing pee-pee in the... What a thing to walk in on.
This character is like, she gets like no personality development whatsoever in the entirety of the base game content.
Lame.
Nothing. She's just there, and you're supposed to do what she says, and I'm just like, bitch, I
don't know you.
Care.
I don't know you.
I don't know you. Why are you the leader here? What makes you qualified, right? The short answer is that the previous leader of this group told her she should do it when he no longer could, or whatever. It's like, why? Most of what she does happens behind the scenes, and so it's like you don't really get to experience her doing things with you. Which drives me nuts, because there's another character who does similar things to what she does, but you fucking walk around with him and do shit with him.
Yeah.
Anyways, I have an unbridled hatred for Minfilia, and unlike Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, this is the fire station. I'm so surprised. We were just talking about Winnie the Pooh, and you pulled that discourse out so fast. Like, you have held on to that for your entire childhood, and this was the first time you had anything to say.
I have feelings about Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, that tower looks disgusting. Also, fun fact, October is Fire Safety Month. Since we're cleaning out this fire station.
Interesting.
I got to ride in a fire truck on my birthday, because they had the fire truck come to my elementary school.
Do you want the outside or the inside of the tower?
Inside. Because I'm lazy. Oh my god. Yeah, we were talking first about the horror movie, but then also, like, public domain, and then, like, Jill had a lot of feelings about Winnie the Pooh.
About Winnie the Pooh.
About how Winnie the Pooh is a piece of shit. Oh yeah, hard pass, for sure. TLDR, Winnie the Pooh does not learn from his mistakes.
Right.
That he's a yellow asshole.
Yep.
That was some of the best discourse. Just you just pulled it out.
Sometimes when I feel very strongly about stuff, I just rant.
Oh yeah. You would make a good lawyer.
No. I wouldn't, because I get way too emotional about things.
Yeah.
You can't get emotional about stuff as a lawyer. I'm also a frustration crier.
I used to be like that until I started testosterone. I would cry and people were like,
"You're..." all my tear ducts.
Yeah, I would cry, and then they'd be like, "So you're guilty?" I'd be like, "No, I cry because that's my primary motive of my primary way of emoting." Rabbit is kind of a POS.
Rabbit is the one who has to deal with the most of Pooh's shit and never gets anything in return.
Yeah.
Like...
But also, he's self-aware enough that he could just, like, do something about it.
What would he do? If you have a friend...
Like, have a backbone?
If you have a person... You know what? I'll give you that. But that doesn't make him an asshole.
Yeah, he's not an asshole. He just needs to communicate his feelings better. He's like... He needs to be able to be like, Pooh, I know that you're stupid enough that you don't know how to exercise boundaries, but here, let's talk about boundaries. But instead, he just, like, pussyfoots around it. He's just like,
I do know that Rabbit will often be like, "Hey, that's my stuff. That why are you, eating my things or whatever?"
Yeah.
And Pooh just ignores him.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right.
Very
Like,
established. Rabbit is Rabbit is basically Squidward.
yeah.
New Rabbit. No, Rabbit tries, but Pooh doesn't listen.
No,
Maybe
Pooh
it's a
does
little
not.
bit of both.
Rabbit does try, but Rabbit doesn't. Like, Rabbit gives up because it doesn't ever work.
Yeah.
And like, that's fucking valid, dude. Like, you run out of energy for that shit.
I don't really know that much about Owl. What did he even fucking do? He just like stands there and info dumps. And
Owl
not in like
likes to
not in a way that people
superior.
want. Yeah.
Like, oh, I know what's going on. I can see things that you can't because, literal vantage point or whatever. But Owl chooses to withhold help.
Yeah.
And act superior. Gopher, I think, is probably the only character in the 100 Acre Wood. Gopher and, like, Kanga are the only characters in the 100 Acre Wood who have done no wrong. Like, Gopher's he's just there. He's doing his shit. He's digging holes.
Hasn't he like wrongfully blasted something? I don't know.
That one I don't know. But,
Okay.
I don't know enough about... I'll be completely honest. I do not actually know enough about the lore of this whole thing to be able to speak, like, completely informed about it. But to my knowledge, those two are the only characters. I mean, Rue is a child.
Yeah.
But he acts like a child and also is taught, lessons like a child. And
Yeah,
from
you're
what
close.
I can tell, he learns from them.
I don't think he should be blamed on the same level as the adult. Yeah.
A child.
Yeah!
Like, Rue is an actual child, and he learns from his mistakes, and he also has to learn from Pooh's mistakes.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I guess Pooh is kind of like your alcoholic uncle. You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
all I know is that
everyone does not benefit. Everyone has a negative reaction. But somehow people still like him because he's funny.
right. I don't think that. I also don't think that Eeyore has done anything wrong. Eeyore's just chronically depressed. Oh, we missed a section on top of the roof of that.
Unbearable. Hee hee hee.
God. Oh.
Again, we're talking about Winnie the Pooh again. Because, like, at least Winnie the Pooh was, like, smart enough to, like, be aware that everyone has bad days and not shit on people for having a bad day.
Yes. There
He's
are
like,
some things
I'm inclusive
that
of your depression and anxiety.
There's some things that were done well with Winnie the Pooh, but his personality in general is just infuriating. As an adult.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it. Oh, it's fun. He bumbles around. He makes messes, blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't clean them up.
Yeah, I know people like that.
He doesn't
that I
experience
work with.
consequences.
There are people I work with, and they're like, yeah, I was gonna get to it. And I'm like, yeah, but it should have taken you 30 minutes to clean up a puddle. Like, that's a hazard.
I was going to get to it. Oh my god.
Yes! The number of times I get coworkers to say that to me, it's just like, bruh.
It's like, pull the other leg, because you're not pulling the first one hard enough, like, clearly.
You're blasting Dracula at your chickens? That's so funny. Back at the dance floor. They're up. Oh, that's funny. You need to get like a subwoofer for the chickens. I just love all this Winnie the Pooh discourse. This is what my soul needed tonight.
I'm glad I could provide.
Thank you so much. You rocked my weird little world.
I honestly, I hope that at some point you can play Final Fantasy XIV, and then you can understand my weird rants about characters and stuff.
I just love info dumping. Like, people can info dump about anything, and I'll read it and appreciate it.
I was talking about today was sitting in. So our free company has a Discord server, and I was sitting in the chat in there with one of the other members. He's called Howdy.
Yeah.
You would appreciate this. His username is Howdy You Do.
How cute.
Yeah, it's very cute, and he's dressed like a cowboy in the game.
I love cowboy.
Every time I see him, he's got his little cowboy hat. He's like got a poncho. It's delightful. Anyways,
Hi,
so I was
Finny.
sitting there.
We're talking about Winnie the Pooh, or we were for a while there.
Now I'm talking about something that I said today. So basically, the main character, like your character in Final Fantasy XIV, has silent protagonist syndrome, right? They don't speak. And they unless you personally like personify them as a character, they don't have any personality.
Okay.
And my joke that I made was that you got your personality shot off in the war. Basically, because
wow.
there was like...
That's very viable, too.
My understanding of how your character comes to the point that they are, and basically becomes a warrior of, like, the mother goddess, is that, like, apparently everybody's soul remembers this horrible calamity that happened, like, millions of years ago or something, and because it's a constant cycle of reincarnation, you were reminded of this. Oh God, what did she call it? Oh, you're not a fan of Eeyore?
Wait, what?
Finn says he's not a fan of Eeyore. Eeyore isn't it?
No, Eeyore is not in the horror movie. He's not a fan of the Heffalumps.
Oh,
Do you think I'm gonna remember any of that?
Oh, dude.
Man, I'm not gonna remember any of this.
Warning for anybody here who cares. These are spoilers for Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know the context of most of this shit because I have been told bits and pieces. So
I'm not gonna remember any of this.
Yeah, I know you're not.
Christopher Robin is a bitch. No, please, contribute something. I need to know your reasoning.
Anyways, what it boils down to is...
You can bring his stuffed animals to school. Moron.
The first thing that happens is your character is basically conscripted by the mother goddess, and she's like, you're gonna be a warrior for me, and you're like, who the fuck are you? And so my joke that I made was that there was no room left for the person that you actually were because it's all just Heidelin, which is the name of the goddess.
Yeah.
She just overtakes you, and it probably takes you years to recover who you were, but it's just literally in game they point out at least once that your character just like kind of smiles and nods. And you don't actually like say stuff.
It's kind of like Link.
Yeah, but it's not pointed out usually that Link doesn't actually speak. It's just implied that he does, because you'll tell people things. But in this game, they straight up say, "Oh, you're just you're gonna give us one of your silent nods or whatever," and it's just like, damn, you really gonna call me out like that?
What?
But
Christopher Robin breaks everything he touches? Christopher Robin... I don't remember much about him, because I always would put myself in his shoes and pretend I was the one playing with Winnie the Pooh. Oh yeah, along the lines of, like, silent protagonist, I didn't realize this, I thought about this the other day. So, like, when it comes to the 3D games and the voice acting for Link, the first time he ever says words besides Hia and Xia and whatever and screaming is in Wind Waker when he says, "Come on!" When you, when you can, like, bring your companion with you.
I don't know if he ever says a real word other than that.
Yeah. Like, I haven't played the other games yet. I don't know, but he said, come on. And my mind was blown.
I think that's the only time he says a word. Other
Wow.
than, yeah!
Can Nana also confirm, or is Nana asleep?
Nana hasn't been talking in the chat, so I don't know.
Yeah. Similar rabbit granted wishes that always went wrong, but he was not out of malice, but he would unintentionally misinterpret wishes. Like a genie? He let Tigger go off on his own and try to find his family, knowing well that Tigger didn't have a family.
Oh, there was an RPG setting whose pantheon was a grimdark interpretation of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Rabbit does not grant wishes. He just wants Pooh to leave him
I had to
alone.
scroll up and
I can't scroll. Else you'd be stuck in the game.
It wasn't scrolling. It was literally like 3 messages before that Horrible had written.
Good night, Nana. Are you okay?
Oh no, you're fine. Because I can't like take my eyes off what I'm doing a lot and I forget to. I just didn't see the earlier part of what you were saying. So it's not on you at all.
Nana, you did a lot today. You deserve to sleep. You did some pirating. I was nice and I made you dinner so you didn't have to waste your energy. Oh, Nana has tomorrow off. They can pirate all day. Winnie the Pooh was just a beast who hungered with no thought for anything else.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. That's how bears are. Completely obsessed. It is wet in here. I just love when you info dump. I have no clue what the fuck you're saying at all times. But like, I'm actively listening. I'm just like, yeah, sure, cool. I don't know what you're saying. Neat. Interesting.
Are you talking about what I'm talking about? What I say?
When you talk about Final Fantasy.
Listen, I understand very few things about Final Fantasy, and I'm learning as I go.
More than me.
Like, and the thing that kills me the most is that, like, people will tell me shit, and then they're like, oh, be careful, that's a major spoiler. I'm like, but you didn't even tell me it was a spoiler when you told it to me!
Wow. When you'll probably care about it.
I care a little bit.
Bugs
but...
Bunny was tasked with destroying one ring. He would have had it done in under 30 minutes. Oh, yeah. If you guys have not seen the Looney Tunes show, the one where Bugs and Daffy are roommates, please watch it. Come back to me and be like, yeah, that's you and Nana living together.
So, today when I was hanging out with Howdy, he kept talking about the content section that is like right the next one that I'm going to come to, and I was just like, I didn't want to keep saying, yeah, I haven't got there yet. Yeah, I haven't got there yet. Just like sitting here like, I'm not even to that point, and I don't want to be rude. Because, like, he was clearly having a good time, and I'm just like, I don't understand any of this. Like,
Dress and drag to seduce Sauron? He would. Yeah, me and Nana hypothesized that they are Bugs and I'm Daffy. It's so true.
yeah, you can't expect me to know what's supposed to be like, oh, this is a major spoiler if nobody fucking says what's the spoilers.
Yeah. Like, why would they spoil something?
Like,
without warning you?
Listen, I have said, hey, you know, if you're gonna explain stuff to me, just explain it to me. But, like, you can't turn around and expect me to know!
Yeah.
Because I have context for things that I probably shouldn't have context for, and so it makes sense to me.
yeah, you can spoil it for me all you want, and I'll just be like, cool, neat. And then
And then you'll
5 minutes
forget.
later, I'll be like, what was she talking about? I do like
Yeah.
talking about, like,
That I know is a spoiler.
what?
She said in her defense that one specific thing she told me about was she told me was a spoiler. I'm like, yeah, that I knew. I knew that one going in. But most of the time you just tell me stuff. You're like, oh yeah, and in Endwalker you learn X, and I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, I don't here's my problem. I just like all of this information blends together in my head. And so I don't have a way to separate it without having experienced it organically.
Yeah. And you don't because it's a lot? Or like you have a hard time understanding it?
It's not that I have a hard time absorbing it because it's text.
Yeah.
It is mostly text, and my brain says, text? We don't know her.
Same.
And like, I can read just fine, but will I absorb? Not necessarily. The best way that I can absorb stuff is if I read it and then proceed to shitpost about it.
My way is that I need to watch a video and then read it. Or
Like,
vice versa. I have to watch a video at some point.
So the post base game content is where I am now. Before I'm not yet into this like first expansion, and I have finished this main content on 2 characters now because fucking run fast, eat ass. But
mow the grass, go to class.
But there's so much going on. And when I learn all this information, it doesn't get separated in my head into these different folders of, okay, this is what's okay to talk about, XYZ. And people just don't have a filter. So I hear about all these things and I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, understandable. Frodo still gets traumatized by witnessing Bug's sheer power. I keep getting reminded of that one episode where Daffy goes to get ice cream, and then, like, he's bothered by the order of what is scooped when, and he keeps making the ice cream person remake it, and then they make it right, and he tells them that they make it wrong, and I'm just like, wow, that's what it's like working for Starbucks. It makes me laugh. The other one that I like is the one where, Bugs has a patent. No, I was thinking of the other one where, oh, I don't remember. It was like, Lola was stalking Daffy while he was on a date, and she sits at a table next to him and watches him on his date with his girlfriend. This show is so funny. Yeah, they made Looney Tunes actually, besides slapstick, funny. Like, imagine Looney Tunes with a plot.
No, thank you.
Like, they gave Lola a personality. In Space Jam, she was just there.
Yeah.
They turned her into an airheaded blonde idiot. And it's so funny. No, like, she's unbearably funny.
I don't enjoy that.
She's voiced by Kristen Wiig, who did Impeccable.
I enjoy Kristen Wiig as an actress, but that sounds very unpleasant.
Yeah.
Okay,
What did I miss?
a garage door.
Okay.
And then, 2 of the spotlights, 3 windows, 2 window frames. Oh yeah, we didn't do the upper half of like that side building.
Oh my god. Lola asked how to say taco in Spanish. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. She was so stupid. I love her.
I wish there was a sprint, because like walking around is so slow. Alright, these windows need done.
You just look like a cat walking.
Alright, spotlight. That one. Oh.
Right.
Okay.
Wet, 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 wet. That's my wet song.
That was not a song.
Wet, wet, wet,
Can I
wet,
get
wet,
you to walk
wet,
up on that
wet,
ledge and move to the side?
wet, 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 wet. It's the wet song.
Did somebody redeem sing mode, or are you just
No,
in
just-
a mood?
just want to sing the word wet. Please, nobody redeem sing mode. My throat hurts.
Alright.
I will riot.
Got all these windows.
You also have a donut gun.
Yeah, I had already bought the
gun.
skin for it before.
Donut buddy. Alright, I still can't climb this ladder.
Really?
Yeah,
That sucks. Did you try to pick it up and put it back down?
yeah. I'll get the big one.
Alright.
Hello? Whee! As you scream, you want love. Ah! You want love and affirmation.
Don't we all?
Yeah. You can get love and affirmation from me. Kissing you goodnight as a homie. It's part of the... It's not a subscription. It's an emotional subscription. Subscribe for $0 a month.
Alright.
Or...
There's a garage door that needs to be finished and a wall base.
Oh. Yucky. Might have been my bad. $0 a month. And you get unlimited free kisses. Good night. Okay, now where's this wall base? Ooh.
I would like you to know
Hey.
my brain is playing Mr. Saxo beat right now.
I don't think I know that one. Or maybe I do. I'm blocking it out.
We finished this surprisingly quickly.
Yeah. I wonder if there's like a really small one that we can do. Yeah! In the fire truck.
Fire truck is not small. Grandpa
Oh.
Miller's car wouldn't be too bad.
Okay. Yeah, because I wanted to go to at least 10:30. I was like, yeah, I'm tired. 10:30. Ew. Ew. Can't find a peanut butter. Peanut butter is a good snack for gaming because it's full of protein. You need protein for your brain.
Did you hear about the whole thing about like a recall with Jif peanut butter?
Is it salmonella again?
So yeah. Again.
Yeah, I remember when I was in the 5th grade, there was a huge thing about peanut butter being recalled because of salmonella. It was around the time we all had to get vaccinated for H1N1. No, H1N1 was when I was in middle school. But the peanut butter recall was huge. I remember in high school, there was a girl who was so severely allergic to peanut butter and like peanuts and stuff that no one was allowed to bring peanut butter to school. It was like, you could not have a peanut butter sandwich. If you were in the same room, she would have a volatile reaction.
Fucking sucks for her.
Yeah. I used to just, like, when I used to have, like, long gaming sessions, I would just eat peanut butter right out of the jar. No spoon.
Wait, with your finger?
I mean, no knife, with just a spoon. That's it. Nothing to put it on.
I do that. I would tell you the other thing that I put it on, but then this wouldn't be a safe space anymore because you.
Boing. Wait, is it like 18 plus?
No.
Oh. I wouldn't judge you over what you put your food on. I have Chaos Kitchen.
Bro, you judged me so hard last time when I talked about eating a banana.
Because I don't like bananas. I'm judging
Oh,
you
but,
for
like,
eating bananas.
You would not shut up. You were like, bananas are nasty. I'm like,
Ashley, what are you doing? Go commit crimes elsewhere.
and I literally was thinking about it today, again, that whole conversation, and my brain was like, suddenly this isn't a safe space anymore.
Wow. Did not mean it that way, but I just think bananas are gross.
It wasn't even just you. Like, it was funny. Orville was talking shit about my bananas. I'm like, what the hell?
Okay, what do you put your peanut butter on?
On bananas!
Oh. Okay. It's valid. Just bananas are gross.
It's delicious.
It's valid, but bananas are gross.
I don't understand how bananas are gross. They're like one of the most delightful sweet things I've ever eaten in my
They're
life.
so
Like,
stinky.
I remembered you saying that, and I smelled it, and I was like, but it smells good.
Ooh. And then I was like, oh, they're hairy. And you're like, oranges have hair on them. And I'm like, but it's different.
It's literally the same thing.
They do make me throw up. Yeah, I smell them and I instantly gag. That's the reason why Nana doesn't keep bananas in the house. Like, I'll smell them in the same room. Like, I'll get nauseous if I'm at work and I have to bring bananas in a cart for somebody. It's like a visceral reaction.
Bananas are genuinely one of my favorite foods.
Monkey. My question, what fruit that you like other people don't?
I like lychees.
I like raw peaches.
Is that something that people don't like?
Yeah. People don't like raw peaches because they're hairy.
Ugh.
They don't like the texture of a raw peach. They like to have a sliced peach.
Oh, I don't give a shit. I'll eat a peach with the skin on. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, they're delicious. You like raw peaches? Cool.
Last time you were bitching about, what was it? We were talking about kiwis. You were like, I couldn't eat a kiwi because it's hairy, and I'm like, the fuck?
Peaches are different.
Did you?
I think it's because kiwis look like testicles.
So do avocados.
I don't like avocados. They taste like grass. But I like matcha, which tastes like grass.
I love that avocados taste like grass.
Avocados taste like wet grass.
I love
Well,
that.
like matcha tastes like fortified grass.
Do you notice that this sticker on the side of the car says pasties?
No.
Yeah. And if you look at the front, like the windshield, it says like turbo racing or something stupid like that.
Turbo fast car.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like the taste of kiwis and peachy. I just think that kiwis are also overly sour. They don't have to be that sour.
That's why I like them. It's also why I like lychees, because they're citrusy and
I
a
like
little
tart.
sour.
I just don't like sour. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah! We obliterated that. Shocked I'm
Yeah,
getting so much done and Sea of Thieves despite galleons everywhere.
Yeah, you haven't been blitzed out of the water yet?
Fuck yeah.
Ooh.
Our little
I would
guys
think-
are such a gender.
I would like it known that I deliberately went back to sleep the first time that I woke up this morning because I knew if I did not, that I was going to be too tired for the game and I would be falling asleep.
I cannot do cantaloupe. Cantaloupe's gross. Cannot do cantaloupe. Hi J-Palms, thanks for checking on in. Hope that you're doing well as well. I'm doing cool. We're about to raid off actually. Let me see who's live. Cause I wanted to go to bed at 10:30. I gotta make sure I'm well rested and eat my breakfast before my evaluation tomorrow. I want to be in tip-top form.
You need to be fueled up and ready to roll.
You know it. Do we want Hades or Dark Souls 3?
I do not have an opinion.
Hi, Cashew. What's up? You want to say hi to Cashew? Oh, nope, you ran away. Never mind.
Flip a coin.
Cool. Let's go hang out with Lady of Chaos J. She's really cool. Every time I raid over to her, she's got like the same energy as me. And I'm just like, I love being here. She just makes me laugh. It's hard to find people who match the same exact energy as me. When I'm not on a chill night, that is. But I love doing this. We're gonna clean that fire truck next week, probably. So if you guys are excited, love hanging out with me and Jill on Thursdays, this is your place. Next time you'll see me, surprisingly. Okay, Sunday is Goosebumps night again in Discord. If you're not in the Discord, check it out. That's !Discord. We love Discord. It's great. It's fun. It's cool. We do story nights every Sunday, or every other Sunday. Interspersed the consecutive Sundays with movies. So, hang out. That's fun. Tuesday next week, we're playing Minish Cap. And more Bug Snacks. Might possibly beat the game. And more Powerwash Simulator. So,
We
You
have
guys
quite a bit of Power Wash Simulator left to go.
quite a lot to go, and I'm excited. So, if you haven't heard it yet today, please remember that we love you. Bye.
Bye.